Welcome to Fitness Future, the podcast where we explore the latest trends and innovations in the fitness industry. I'm your host, Rachel. Today, we're discussing genetic personal fitness programs and how they're changing the game. Joining me are John, a fitness trainer with expertise in genetic programming, and Sarah, a yoga teacher who has developed a genetic yoga program. Welcome, John and Sarah. Before we dive into genetic fitness, let's take a step back and look at the history of fitness and yoga. John, can you give us a brief overview of how fitness has evolved over time?
Sure. Fitness has been around since the Stone Age, when our ancestors had to hunt and gather food to survive. As civilizations developed, so did forms of exercise and physical activity. In ancient Greece, for example, fitness was a key part of military training and athletic competitions.
That's fascinating. Sarah, what about yoga? How has it evolved over time?
Yoga has its roots in ancient India, where it was developed as a spiritual practice over 5,000 years ago. The word yoga comes from the Sanskrit word yuj, which means to unite. Over time, yoga evolved into different forms and styles, such as Hatha yoga, Vinyasa yoga, and Ashtanga yoga.
Fast forward to the modern era. John, how did fitness evolve in the 20th century?
The 20th century saw the rise of modern fitness, with the development of gyms, fitness classes, and exercise equipment. The 1970s and 1980s saw the aerobics craze, led by icons like Jane Fonda and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That's right. Sarah, how did yoga evolve during this time?
Yoga started to become more popular in the West in the mid-20th century, with the arrival of Indian gurus like Swami Vivekananda and BKS Iyengar. The 1960s and 1970s saw the rise of yoga as a countercultural movement, with yoga becoming a symbol of spiritual seeking and nonconformity.
Now, let's talk about the genetic revolution and how it's changing the fitness industry. John, can you explain what genetic fitness programming is and how it works?
Genetic fitness programming uses DNA testing to identify an individual's genetic predispositions and create a personalized fitness plan. This approach considers genetic variations that affect metabolism, muscle growth, and other factors that influence fitness outcomes.
That's fascinating. Sarah, how does genetic yoga programming work?
Genetic yoga programming uses DNA testing to identify genetic variations that affect flexibility, balance, and other aspects of yoga practice. This information is used to create a personalized yoga plan that takes into account an individual's unique genetic profile.
Looking ahead to the next 5 years, what do you predict will be the biggest developments in genetic fitness?
I predict that genetic fitness programs will become more integrated with other health services, such as nutrition planning and mental health support. We'll also see more advancements in AI-powered fitness technologies that can analyze genetic data and provide personalized recommendations.
I agree. I also predict that genetic yoga programming will become more popular as more yoga teachers and studios adopt this approach. We'll see more research on the benefits of genetic yoga programming and more development of AI-powered tools to support this approach.
Thank you, John and Sarah, for sharing your insights on the history of fitness and yoga and the genetic revolution that's changing the industry. It's clear that this field is rapidly evolving and will continue to shape the fitness industry in the years to come. Thanks for tuning into this episode of Fitness Future. Join us next time for more conversations on the latest trends and innovations in the fitness industry.